Hey, what's up? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 science champions in Marvel Contest of Champions. Like I said in the last video, which was the skill video, if you haven't checked it out, go watch it. I might have the link in the description. If not, it's on my channel. It's the last video I made. Go watch it. It's a pretty good video. But we'll mostly be talking about 7 stars because that is what is relevant in today's current meta. 6 stars aren't really relevant anymore. You really don't use 6 stars very often. Like, I didn't touch a 6 star once in Act 9, me personally, or in any of the other challenges, arena challenges, which they're 7 star locked, so you couldn't. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've touched a 6 star, so no 6 stars will be talked about in this video. Last video I talked about Kate Bishop, but it's whatever. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. As you'll know, we'll start with some honorable mentions. There's a lot of great science champions. Like, there's a lot of science champions that are in the honorable mentions, or that I want to put in the honorable mentions, that are better than the top 5 champions in the skill video. So, I'm only going to narrow it down to 3. If you don't see a champ here that deserves an honorable mention, please let me know in the comment. There's a lot of good science champs, and this could be a top 10 list, honestly. There's so many good science champs, but I think I have it narrowed down. But yeah, first honorable mention, one of the newest additions to the list is actually Lizard. So, the reason Lizard is in the honorable mention is because, for one, he hasn't been in the game long enough to really see what he's good at and what he's capable of. We do kind of have an understanding of where he's going to play, or what role he's going to play in the game. But he's kind of at a weird spot. He does things a lot of other champions do. He has great regen, great damage, really solid utility with that regen, and he has decent immunities. Also with the Spider-Man relic, he's an animal. That being said, the reason he's in the honorable mention is, for one, he can be ascended, but for two, I personally don't have many ascension tokens because I didn't pull them a lot, but I know summoners like Seaton, he has 9 lizard ascension tokens. So as soon as Ascension 4 comes out, or Ascension 3 and 4, they can rank up Lizard instantly. So big whales will have a really, really big Lizard. That's why I think he belongs to the honorable mention, because he's always going to be a step ahead other champions, at least for the next year or so. He's always going to have that rank advantage, just because those Ascension tokens are so easy to get for Lizard during that short period of time. But yeah, he looks cool. His animations are great. Cool character. I just don't think he's warranted a top 5 spot. Yeah. Kind of the same story, but with another Spider-Man build we're going to talk about, is Sandman. So, Sandman got an insane buff, and he really did not get much change. His ramp up is just easier, but he can be ascended, and that extra damage with his buff for the ramp up to be easier and a little bit more damage in that ascension basically makes him the perfect nuke for medium form content. Basically, one rotation, you build up 20 charges, heavy a couple times, throw your special 2, heavy even more, and that ramp up should kill most health pools at the medium level. Also, in longer form content, he's pretty great too, because the ramp up, like I said, is really easy to get back to. You just launch an SP2 and you're basically max ramped. So yeah, his damage is absolutely nuts. Like, I don't think they play tested him. He has some really, really high damage, and it's really easy to access. And he's got pretty decent immunities. He's got a lot of utility in his kit. The only downside is, unlike Lizard, I think Lizard can be a little bit of a defender just because he's tanky. Sandman is really tanky and can be a good stall defender, but willpower is a thing, and he puts debuffs on you, so if you're fighting a Sandman, you basically heal the full no matter what. So yeah. Sandman, great champion, great buff. I just don't think he's quite in the top 5. And that leaves us with the final spot in our honorable mentions, and I'm going to give that to Red Guardian. Part of me really wanted to give that to Sentry, but I know Sentry's only a ramp-up champion. I personally love him. I took to rank 4. But anyways, back to Red Guardian. Red Guardian was so close to breaking the top 5 because he's an absolute nuke. If you've not seen any Red Guardian gameplay, look up the Battle Realm Brawl last November, and almost every single summoner that was in that event was using Red Guardian. He was nuking matchups you've never even heard of, like absolutely insane damage. And I only have him at rank 3, but I promise you his rank 3 damage is better than some rank 5 characters' damage in the game. The only downside is, that's all he has. It's just damage. He just has damage. But In a lot of cases, that's all you need is just really, really high damage. So that's why I'm not going to put him any further on the list. He's not that great defender. He doesn't have a lot of utility. He just has damage. But yeah. All right. Getting into our number 5 spot, I'm actually going to put Scorpion. So I thought a lot about this, and me personally, I feel like he hasn't gotten any worse. He's only got the buff from a 7-star. I just feel like I never use him as I once did. When he was a 6-star, and 6-star champions were the biggest thing ever, he was the best 6-star champion in the game and one of the best champions in the game. And although I think he still can be considered one of the best, the other 4 I'm going to talk about are really, really great champions. And the science class, like I said in the beginning, it's so close. Any of these top 5 champions could be number 1 or number 5. They are just that neck and neck. But he has really, really great utilities. He basically has triple immunities depending on what pre-fight you activate. He can either apply poisons, shocks, or ruptures. And when you apply that debuff type, you're immune to the other 2. So by base, without a pre-fight, you apply poisons on both mediums, and you're immune to shock and rupture. If you were to apply shocks, you'd be immune to poison and rupture you're immune to shock and poison. And that's not even the best part about his kit. His best part about his kit is, for one, those are stings, so they're like midi power stings. But with the SP2, you can double those, and if you hold your heavy before, you can like quadruple that damage. But it's his Sig ability and the fact that he can regen off of his special 2. If the opponent is inflicted with Petrify and they attempt to heal, Scorpion passively regenerates 120% of the health denied to them due to any reduced regeneration rate. Each tick of this healing cannot exceed 166 health. This value scales with base health. That does not sound like a lot, but I promise you, in every Battlegrounds matchup I've ever had with him, if I don't get hit or mess up, once I launch that SP2, the willpower, they heal from the Petrify being on them, the Scorpion heals, and he's always at full. One of my favorite Nico counters for this reason, just because you get a lot of block damage, or you get just a lot of unnecessary damage fighting Nico if you don't play well. And the fact that he has the immunities and he can be 100% health at all times is amazing. So I just believe Scorpion is one of the best science characters in the game. He also has great synergies with Venom. Venom synergy is one of the best synergies in the game, especially for Venom. It makes him a nuke. But also Scorpion gets Furies. But yeah, he has really great synergies. Really, really great damage. He's also a really great defender because he has a evade. If you don't do a 20 combo within like 20 seconds or 30 seconds, he gets an evade charge, and then you get a sting on you, and then it's just kind of over from there. And just the fight gets out of control, so you need an evade counter to fight him. But yeah, great defender, great damage, great utility. The only downside I can find with Scorpion is his health pool is super, super small. He has a tiny health pool. He can be nuked really easy. You can almost nuke him down before that evade timer comes. But yeah, Scorpion, a great champion. Also looks very sick. I could put him higher. I don't believe he is any higher, but that's just me personally. Other people probably think he's the best champion in the game, and there's nothing wrong with that. All these top 5 characters are amazing. So, that being said, is another champion I have up at rank 4. Number 4 is Photon. Photon is, in my opinion, one of the best all-around science champions, kind of like Scorpion. She doesn't quite have the damage Scorpion has, and she doesn't quite have the immunities. She's really only immune to bleed, but she has miss. She can counter miss. She can counter evade. She has big furies, and I've never been a Photon attack glazer until I started using her more at the higher level, and those furies are super, super potent, and all you have to do is just hit. When you apply a debuff to them, you get a light charge. When you get 25 light charges, you gain Furies. You get a Fury for every 5 light charges. If you get knocked down before that 25, you get a Fury for every, or you get 5 Furies for every charge you had. So if you get knocked down at 20, you only get 4 Furies. I believe that's how it is. Also, if you use an SP3 before you go into your pure light mode, which is what happens when you're at 25, and you don't tick down from 25 back to 0, you get a big regen. It's not the most potent thing ever, but it's pretty nice to have to get topped up. But yeah, really, really great on attack. Really, really great utility, and she has such a simple kit that you can use her with a lot of different nodes and do well with her just because you don't have to play around her kit as much as other champions. There are certain champions you got to do a puzzle mid-match with them to get their max damage, but Photon's not one of them. You just punch the opponent, get bars of power, throw them, and you just kind of play around the nodes that are given to you. That being said, she's also an amazing defender. To this day, one of the best defenders, just because you got to have a specific counter or you got to play super well. Her Sig ability, you really want her awakened and at max Sig because she basically lowers the opponent's block proficiency with each debuff you have on them, and she applies a bunch of different debuffs. So on defense, if you take a blocked hit, that's like 10% of your health just gone. Just a blocked hit, especially if it's a special. But yeah, it's insane. She has really great damage. She's really, really great on defense, and I still think she holds up to this day. Also, she has a lot of prestige. She's really high up on the prestige starts. So yeah, I personally still think she holds up. A lot of people don't like her as much as they used to. I think she's great. I think she's warranted that 4th spot. But like I said, 4 and 5 could change, 3 and 4 could change, 1 and 5 could change, in my opinion. They're all just great champions. So, that being said, we're going to move on to our 3rd spot, which is actually a champ I don't own. And I kind of regret not owning him, but that is Human Torch. So, Human Torch, everybody knows him, everybody loves him. Kind of like Red Guardian in a way that he's just an absolute nuke, but he also has utility on top of that, and he's a defender. So, in my opinion, he's kind of like Red Guardian, but in every way possible, or he's better in every way possible. His kit is very simple. You have a pre-fight. His Sig ability allows him to maybe gain a pre-fight in other matches that he joins into and wins, but it's not very good. You don't need him awakened for your damage. And I find this Sig ability hardly ever working. I feel like it's broken, but basically, also his immunities are great. Cold Snap, great. Incinerate, obviously. But basically, you go in with your pre-fight, you medium, light, medium, and those Nova Flames you apply are as potent as the Ember charges you have on you, and they're also stings, just like Scorpion. So you basically just medium, light, medium, take energy damage into block, you do more damage, and yeah, that's all it is. And it's a really, really simple rotation. You don't even have to throw a special, but you just nuke down like every single defender you can imagine. If you have a certain amount of heat or charge when you charge your heavy, there's a little heat timer on the side. You can counter miss. I believe you can counter evade. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, he's just got better damage than Red Guardian in my opinion. And he's got utility, he's got immunities, and he's a decent defender. If you don't have a counter to Incinerate, you have to be Incinerate immune, or you have to be able to nuke him down before he gets going. But yeah, an insane champ. The major flaw with him, in my opinion, is you really only can use him once per quest at his max potential. If you don't have that pre-fight, he is kind of lackluster. You kind of have to build up a different way. The fights do go slower. He can still do them. Like, he can do them just fine. It's just a little bit slower, and it's not what we're used to seeing out of Human Torch. But, like, for BGs, he's a great BGs attacker. And yeah, he's great for the final quest node. I found myself always bringing in the 6-star torch on any Mystic on a final quest node, no matter... I mean, I was doing it in the beginning of Act 9. But yeah, that's Human Torch, I believe, is the 3rd spot. I believe he is warranted the 3rd spot, and he could even be higher. I don't think his prestige is that good. That's another thing that's kind of weak about him, but yeah. Pretty cool champ. Looks cool. Yeah. All right. Now, we move to the number 2 spot, and this is kind of personal preference for me. It is Count Nefaria. I do believe Count Nefaria could be number 5. The only reason I have him up this high is just because I have him at rank 5 and I like him so much. In my opinion, he would probably be number 5 on the list. But I'm gonna say that now because I know some people are probably already typed in the comments, this is the most insane thing you've ever seen. But Count Nefaria is kind of the opposite of Red Guardian in a way where his damage is the worst part about him, I would say. He's got literally everything else besides he's kind of a alright defender. He's not the best defender in the world. I would say he's a better defender than Red Guardian. But he's probably the worst defender on this list of top 5 champions. Well, he's actually definitely the worst defender. But that being said, I will have a showcase on my rank 5 Count Nefaria 2. So a lot of what I'm going to say here, I'm going to repeat in the showcase. So I don't want to touch on it too much. But basically, he's got insane he's got insane immunities, immune to bleed, resistant to shock and incinerate. So that means basically you willpower heal, kind of like Onslaught when you get those debuffs on you. So in my opinion, better than fully being immune. Also immune to Degen when he's in his Ionic Overcharge, which is really easy to get to. You just get 100 of those charges. You can either parry 10 times, suck some of those debuffs with the SP1. He's just great. And like I said before, his damage isn't the most crazy thing ever. He's not going to be an absolute nuke, but if you can play well and parry those heavies at the end and punish them, his damage is really good. Like, it is not bad at all. It's kind of like a skill gap. You got to learn how to play the champion a certain way. So I don't think his damage is the most flashy thing ever, but he's a utility god. He's got some of the most utility in the science class. I mean, just look at his Sig ability. Look at all this that happens with his Sig ability. So obviously, you want him to be awakened just to reverse that regen way better and reverse power gain. It's also another thing. He reverses power gain and regen. Amazing utility. But yeah, great champion. My first rank 5. I'm not upset with it at all. But like I said, he's probably number 5 on the list. But me personally, he gets that rank up buff to number 2. I just can't put him at number 1 because number 1 is the obvious pick for me. So yeah, we've talked about all of them. Talked about honorable mentions. We've talked about the rest of the list, but we've not got to number 1. Most of you guys kind of already know what number 1 is, and that is Spider-Woman, of course. Even with the nerf, if she did not get that nerf with the ensnared lowering ability actually, or having that ability actually reduction, she would by far be the best science class. Like, this just brings her closer in proximity to the rest of the science class, but I still believe she is the greatest science character. Arguably one of the best characters in the game, easily one of the best characters in the game. Great damage. Very easy damage. You just combo, get to an SP2, launch an SP2, launch an SP1, have them power stinged, they die. Unless you're Dr. Bong, the only champion in the game immune to power sting, you can't get around that damage. I mean, that damage is on every single character, so they can't really get around that damage. Even if you're shock immune, you're still applying that damage. And plus, the Furies that she gets are quite potent just from comboing. So she's kind of like a ramp-up character in a sense to where your combos hit way harder at the end of the fight than they did at the beginning. Also, that being said, utility, she counters unstoppable and evade in a way because she goes, gets an own evaded charge that has to redo itself every now and then, but still amazing. She looks sick. Her animations are awesome. She has decent immunities. She's immune to poison and neutralize and power shield. Really great immunities, science immunities. But yeah, also a great defender. One of the best defenders in current day science class. The nerf on defense kind of hurt her a little bit, but she's still really annoying to fight, especially because she likes to spam that SP1 and you don't want her to spam that SP1. But yeah, my opinion, best science character in the game. If you pull her, you are in a good spot. She can do a lot of damage for you. She's really great, has really great carry potential. And yeah, I think she's the best character, or best science character in the game. But yeah, if you guys agree with this list, please comment it down in the comment section. Please leave a like, subscribe, do all that. We're on the road to 500 subs. Can't wait to get there. And yeah, please tell me how wrong I am in the comments. Some of you guys were telling me how wrong I was in the skill comments. I love to see it. And some of you guys were agreeing with me. So yeah, please comment, do all that. And I'll catch you in the next one. Don't know what class it'll be, but it'll be one of the other 4. But yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.